Today I have an important message for the anti-vaccine movement and basically for all those who concern about public health. I know this is a controversial topic, so I will try to record it at once in order to avoid the maximum possible of editing. What is a vaccine? I know this term is different or could be different for all of us, so I will try to explain that by a molecular view. By definition, a vaccine is a biological preparation that provides immunization to a particular disease, but it doesn't really say nothing. So what does a vaccine contain? Basically, a vaccine contains an agent which is a weakened or a killed form of a pathogen. And this, it could look so weird, but this pathogen that is administered through a vaccine, it's not enough to cause infection in the host. Nowadays, the agent is mainly different to a pathogen. In order to avoid a possible risk of infection, despite it's not enough with a killed or a weakened virus or bacteria, the vaccines are treated or are using as agent bacterial proteins or proteins from viruses. So with this concept, the risk is completely null of infection for the host. By the same reason that an agent is not enough to cause infection in the host, it's also not enough to produce an activation of the complete immune system and therefore to provide you the immunization against this disease. So the agent needs a substance or a series of particles which are called adjuvants that acts like an amplifier of the first reaction. Okay. At this point that we all know what is a vaccine by the molecular side or by the molecular phase of a vaccine, I'm going to discuss some arguments that I have listened or I have read by the anti-vaccine movement, and I want to discuss that. The first of all is that I have read that the natural immunization is better than vaccination. Obviously, that's not true, that's not scientifically true, that's wrong. And here I will show you a graph of a very big sample, such as the entire United States population, that shows you the huge decrease in some incidents or in some cases of influenza, smallpox, diphteria, measles, polio, among others, between the before and after vaccination schedule in the entire population. As we can see here, there is a clear fact that vaccines works and protects and are better than the natural immunization of the human. After the water purification, I would like to highlight that vaccines are the process that has saved more lives in our entire world. Another argument I want to discuss, the second one, is the well-known motto of the anti-vaccine movement that said that no vaccine is 100% effective. Okay, I have to agree with this motto because there are not any biological, physical, chemical or mechanical process which is 100% effective. In order to complain with that, I will show you here a graph about the effectiveness of the influenza vaccine in the last years in the United States population. Here you can see that this vaccine specifically has a high rate of effectiveness, and also I think it's very well balanced between the little side effects against the huge or the very big protection rate that you can acquire during this specific vaccination against influenza. The third argument I'm going to discuss is the argument that vaccines are loaded with chemicals and with poisons. In the first part, I agree. Vaccines are loaded with chemical, but by this point we have to understand that by chemical I mean everything that are made of atoms. And yes, vaccines are loaded with chemicals because are made with atoms, but you are made of atoms, I am made of atoms, your children are made of atoms, and vaccines, that's true, are loaded with chemicals because everything you know is chemical because it's made by atoms. At the second part, the part that vaccines are loaded with poisons, I would like to put this quote of Paracelsus, which said that the dosage makes it either a poison or a remedy. Okay, next one argument is the fake relationship with autism and vaccination. I don't want to discuss this topic specifically because it's a very big fake discovery. So here in the description box I have put a link which explains you deeper the relationship with this fake discovery, and also explains why there is no relationship between autism and vaccination, and also will explain you why the supposed Dr. Andrew Wakefield has forbidden to do science anymore because of his fraud. And finally, I would like to talk to the people who said, well, vaccination is my choice, so you can talk me about the benefits or the cons of vaccination. Well, let me talk to you about the fact of the herd immunization. As I showed you, there is a mathematical model that said that if the entire society is vaccinated against a specific microorganism, you have little choices or many few choices to get infected by a microorganism than the fact if the entire population is not vaccinated. Why is this important? Because there are a part of the society, and by this part I'm thinking in immunodepressed patients, in babies, in patients of any other disease that has an immature immune system and has no choice to be vaccinated and is exposed to a specific microorganism. They could be saved by this microorganism if the rest of the population is protected with vaccination. And finally, I will say you that vaccination is a social compromise. I know that the most radical or the most extreme part of the anti-vaccination movement will ignore this video, and it's very possible that they haven't arrived to this point of the video, but I want to concern with this speech to the most skeptical part or ambiguous about the anti-vaccine or the pro-vaccine movement. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much to see my video, and if you like, you can share, you can subscribe, you can comment that, and thank you very much again, and see you in the next video.